Hello, everybody. Welcome to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, that show that wrangles up that weird news like a bunch of circus animals and puts them in a zoo or something so you can look at, point at, and go, what's that? And a bunch of activists come in. They're like, that weird news doesn't belong in a zoo. And they burn the zoo down and let the nudes loose. And the world rejoices and says, yes, free-range news. And that news goes all over the world while we stand on top of it with a flag and maybe a spear and maybe a pith helmet and say, yonder there, read this news, or we shall read it to you. And they say, nay, we shan't read it. And we read it to you because it's a podcast. If we didn't read it to you, this would just be you reading the internet. Hi, I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful, the completely capable of hosting a podcast without losing her train of thought, Smashy.
Shan't. He said shan't.
I did. I'm trying to work in more Middle English into my daily vocabulary. I feel like it needs to be part of who I am.
That's so funny because I literally just had a friend tell me that he was learning either Middle English or I think it was Middle English. He was trying to learn a poem in Middle English.
Like an
I don't
epic
remember
poem?
what it was. Yeah.
What did they call Middle English while it was the New English? Was there old and then new and then now we have
There's
new?
old, middle, and current. Like Old English is much different than Middle English.
I feel like it's time we switch this from current to something else. Because we've got new words like fleek and ginormous and huge mungus and, weird other words.
Are those in the dictionary, though, or are they just words that, like, people like me say?
Well, they will be if they stick around long. Yeah, we've got words like yeet. I'm pretty sure
yeet is such a good word. Like you can use yeet for so much. Yeet is like yob. Do you remember yob?
Oh gosh, yes, I remember yob. I remember the yob. But that was your guys' word. Like I don't know if that was a word that everybody said or just a word that you people said in high school, because by the time we got there, nobody said. I was actually an old man in middle school when yob was going around, and I was like, that's a stupid word, and I'm not going to say it. That's a stupid word, and I don't even know what it means. Like, people are just running around going, yob, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? I was logical to a fault.
I'm pretty sure yob was just like the 12th grade class at Greater Beckley Christian School.
It was just you. No one said that. I remember when my buddy Joey was running around. He's like, "That's fat, man." I'm like, "What's fat mean?" He's like, "Fat, P-H-A-T, fat." And he's like, "That's gonna be cool." And I was like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." So I was a kid running around saying stuff like groovy. And that's the cat's pajamas. To the surprise of no one who's listening, that was me. I was like, "That's pretty groovy, man." And they're like, "What is he?"
Where did you get groovy from?
I don't know. I just liked it. I just like to say the word. I don't know where I heard it from. I was watching a lot of Nick at Night. It could have come from any number of places. I am a boomer in disguise. They took a boomer soul and stuck it in my body, and they were like, "Here he is." Like, I'm so tickled. I watched the WandaVision trailer that came out this week for that new series. I'm like, I know all of these sets. That's the Dick Van Dyke Show. That's from Webster. Like, I know all these old classic TV shows they're emulating, and I'm pretty tickled about that.
What's
and
WandaVision?
It's the new Scarlet Witch Vision Disney Plus Marvel jam that's coming out at some point. It's supposed to be weird as butts.
WandaVision?
Yeah, they named it WandaVision, which I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Oh, cause
her name is Wanda.
And then Vision.
Yeah, and then Vision. So it's WandaVision.
So is Vision in it?
Yeah, but he's dead. It looked like it's going to be really bonkers. I'm not exactly sure what they're making it do, but I'm pretty pumped about it. I think it's You're Marvel. You're tapped out, right?
Yeah.
You're allowed to be tapped out. That's fine. You can be done.
I feel like my brain doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't. You're a new parent. It's broken. You took little pieces fall out every time you lift your head from your pillow.
I feel like I'm trying to concentrate really hard right now, and I'm like, we're doing a show, but I also feel like I'm looking through like a frosty Tupperware, and I can't grab a hold of anything. hate when I get like that.
Don't worry,
Kel,
I carry the show.
I'll talk to Kelly every once in a while. I'm like, I have the fog.
She's like, I get it.
The fog is here. I've had the fog all day, but now it's real bad.
That's perfect timing. I only get the fog when I do drugs. That's the only time that occurs.
Tell them about the drugs you did today.
Oh man, you guys. So let me tell you a story. Hemorrhoids feel like
I'm in coffee, Stephen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the hemorrhoids.
Nope. But you can share if you want to.
Listen. A hemorrhoid is like if somebody took a pair of needle nose pliers and just grabbed a hold of your anus and just held on all day, everywhere you went. Maybe even worse. It's a pair of vice grips, just like clamped down, and you're just walking around carrying around a big old vice grip. The reason I went from drugs to hemorrhoids is because Ashley but their household borrowed something I needed, and I went to get it today.
I got a hemorrhoid after I squoze out a baby, and Steve's like, I got you. No, because I was like, my ass is on fire. Like everything down there hurts and my butt burns. And it's like real uncomfortable. It feels like fire ants are just biting my asshole. And Steve was like, that's a hemorrhoid. I'm like, this is a hemorrhoid? This is awful. Make it stop. And he presented a tube of wondrousness.
I have prescription strength ointment. And I was like, here's the hookup. And then I let her have it, and I forgot all about it. And then I woke up, like yesterday afternoon, I'm like, ah, snap. I think I got one coming on. And I woke up this morning, I'm like, my butt is on fire. And it said, smash, I need the ointment. And she was supposed to come take a walk with Stephanie at 9, and things didn't happen. So I was like, oh, shoot.
I had a sore throat, and I'm like, oh my God, I have COVID.
Which is perfectly reasonable place to go. Is directly from sore throat to COVID. I've done that multiple times so far this year. But yeah, so I didn't get it at 9, so I've been like wandering around with butt pain, and I sit all day, so that's not helping much. So yeah, anyway, all that being said, I just want you guys to know that butt care is important. And you shouldn't be embarrassed about it. You should be quite open. You should run down the street saying, "Hi, I have a hemorrhoid today. How are you?" It's very uncomfortable.
Stupid. They're stupid. And I mean, I guess once you like squeeze things from out of you, inside of you to out of you, that you can get them.
It does a lot of damage.
I did find out Stephanie came over to pick it up. And she was like, do you have the tube? And I'm like, I have the tube. And she's like, I'm going to go wash my hands after touching this. I'm like, why? She's like, because it was Tim's, and then it was Steven's, and then it was yours. And I'm like, this is a very used tube.
It wasn't my dad's. That's my tube. That one's mine. The first time I had one, I did have my dad's tube of ointment.
Okay.
But that's, this one was mine.
I just thought it was like wipe pass.
No, gross. That's terrible. You should try to avoid sharing ointment. Can you get in trouble for sharing prescription strength ointment that you put on your butthole? Like, should we even be talking about this on the internet?
Come at me, bitches. Come at me.
It's like not a thing.
Mow you down.
So what you did want to talk about, though, before I decided to talk about my butthole, was the butt coffee. Ashley let me borrow, or not borrow, but have. I'm not going to return it. Yeah, she let me have a sample of her bulletproof coffee that she gets from bulletproofcoffee.com or whatever. I don't know what you call it. So I use it like a couple days. I'm using this bulletproof coffee. I don't put the butter in it and the matcha or whatever that Ashley does. But I did just brew coffee. And I put it in the thing, and I brewed it on Rich Brew, and I brewed a whole pot, and I drank it. And I'm like, this isn't really that big of a deal. I don't know why Jacob said he was vibrating. So Ashley, you gave me some instruction.
Well, so it's got some good oils in it. If you use a filter, it sucks up all the fun little oils. And I told her, I'm like, why? I do the French press.
Right.
And so it's probably a little stronger than your like 2 cups to 12 things of water.
Right.
And he goes, "Oh."
I go, oui, I sont deux French press. I don't have a French press. But what I did manage to do is I was like, I'm just going to brew a single cup. I'm going to brew a single cup so there's more concentration. Just do. So I ground up the bulletproof coffee. I put it in the thing. I brewed me a little cup. I'm like, good old dark coffee. Let's go. I go sit upstairs for a little while. I'm drinking my cup of coffee. And then all of a sudden, the world goes like the Matrix. It was just like, boom, bullet time. And I'm like, I can see between atoms. I can see this. I can see the space between spaces. I can see the future. If I run fast enough, perhaps I will travel through time. I could feel my fingertips. And I'm like, typing on my computer, I'm like, whoa. Because I was typing faster than my brain. My brain wanted to go faster than my fingers could go, so I was having disjointed typing issues. And I'm like, holy crap, this stuff is wild. So I like, Ashley, I had a glimpse of what it's like to be you for about 35, 40 minutes. Every idea I had was brilliant. Every word that came out of my brain was like the best word. I'm like, I'm a genius. Look at all this stuff I can think of. It's just like this, but it's pointillism. You're just like throwing dots at the screen. You're like, all of these look great. Stephanie was like, you can't, you need to calm down. These Steven's vibrating. I was like, remind me to tell you about transatlantic cable operation or something. It was way more. It was way more. I can't even repeat it because it's worn off. It's like drunk brain. You don't remember what you said. What did I say to you guys? It was bad. Oh yeah.
Yeah, HG's right. Like if I drink coffee, I feel like I can think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I'm functioning.
You're speeding up your brain. I told you, I said I need to talk to you about the intricacies of transatlantic communication and how I've solved the latency problem using what I'm calling the Shine equation. What even is that? Who says things like that?
Jacob was like, what are you going to do? Walk across the water after drinking a cup of coffee?
Pretty much. It was that good. So now I've decided that's how I'm going to attack NaNoWriMo. So when NaNoWriMo happens, I'm going to do the thing. I'm gonna be on coffee most of the day trying to write a novel. I think that'll do it. I can't say it'll be good.
I'm so glad HG's in the chat. I feel seen, man. I feel seen.
He knows what's up. But I'm here to validate you, Smash, and say that the bulletproof coffee is magic, and I want some for me.
That you can get them in 5-pound bags. Like I gotta trade out.
Okay. BRB.
I'll let Jacob fill in for me.
Jacob will talk for a little bit. We got this. Hold on. We'll just pause it right there while Jacob's here.
We've got a baby that wants a boob.
Don't say it like that. You're so gross.
God. Baby that wants a boob.
No, God! Stop.
Steven, did you finish the butt coffee discussion?
We were in the middle of it.
Oh, I got to tell you. So the first time I had bulletproof coffee.
Wait, should I just keep recording this before, or should we wait for Ashley to get back?
I don't care. It's up to you.
You know what we're gonna do? I got an idea. We're gonna do this. We're gonna insert a new track. We're gonna go back, and then we're gonna record this and pretend it's like part of the pre-show.
Oh,
right.
There we go.
That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, go.
So the first time I had the bulletproof coffee, I was vibrating. I was shaking. I could not stop shaking. And like you, it was like every thought that I had was brilliant. I was a freaking genius. I would sit down on my computer and be like, yes, I am amazing. I felt like the guy from GoldenEye.
Invincible.
Yes, I'm invincible. Oh, it was so bad. And you made fun of me, Steven. You made fun of me. And I'm like, you've got to try this. You're like, whatever.
Yeah,
do you see what I'm talking about now?
When it's concentrated to that degree, yes, I fully appreciate what you went through that day, because you're like, I can do anything. Let me at him, boss. I can solve all the problems. Give me all the tasks. But the problem is, like, when you were in the state, when you were in the zone, could you direct your chaos energy, or was it just scattershot bonkers like mine was?
It was scattershot bonkers. There was no way I could control that. It was I was like a train off the tracks, just finding a place to wreck. That's all I was doing.
Yeah, because that's where I was. I was like, if I could take this and like direct it, it was like just a flashlight, but there was no lens to focus any of it anywhere. It was just like, everything is great. I've got all these things. Look at all these chats. Look at all these chats. Look at all these websites. And meanwhile, my code's sitting there in front of me going, hey, you gonna write any more of this? Or are you just gonna like text everybody for an hour? Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Bleep, bleep.
You should do
you
work.
Just see the cursor just blinking every once in a while. Just bleep, bleep.
Alert, alert. It's time to do work. It's time to do work. Yeah, it was...
that stuff is legit.
I would recommend it to basically everyone to give it a go. Unless you have a heart condition. In which case, you maybe shouldn't.
Your heart might explode if you have a heart condition.
We should do butt coffee at the beach and sit and talk to each other and see what comes out.
Oh, Tater and Dwayne drink butter coffee.
Tater and Dwayne getting all up in that butt coffee.
Oh, Lord. And we could just record it for the people out there, and everybody would just... Oh, that would not be good, Steven.
We could solve all the problems.
I don't want to know the places that you and I will go on this invincible coffee
while we're riding the tiger.
We're talking about it if it's like cocaine or something. I mean, I kind of feel like it is, but
it is coke. It is coke. It is the coke. It's the cocaine. It's cocaine, man.
Cocaine.
Yeah, it's it'll be good. We'll have wandered off into the ocean, walking with it. You ever had a hemorrhoid, Jacob?
I have not had a hemorrhoid, but I hear you guys talk about hemorrhoids so much that I'm like, it's going to be me that it gets this one day, and then I'm going to have to live with it for the rest of my life because I've been making fun of you for hemorrhoids for the last 5 years.
You need to go out to your garage, find yourself an alligator clip, and click it to your butthole, and wander around for a while so you can properly sympathize.
Well, is that what the method of actually creating? It's the positive control of hemorrhoid.
Pretty much. That's the best example I've got.
I thought you were going to tell me to go out to the garage and go lift about 150, 200 pounds worth of stuff just over and over until my butt gives out and I get a hemorrhoid.
No, that's how you get an anal prolapse.
Oh, anal prolapse. Oh, what's the difference?
Well, one, your entire intestinal tract comes out your butt. The other is just a blood vessel. There's two different
blood vessel popping.
You ever seen? Okay, so back in the early history of the web, there were some websites that you could go to see repulsive things. It was a fan favorite.
Rotten.com, wasn't it?
I mean, you don't have to advertise it, but sure that one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, some friends of mine discovered it and came over to my house, and we went there, and there was a picture of a dude who'd been weightlifting and prolapsed his rear end, and I've never wanted to cry so bad in my life. There's some images you can't get out of your head. You don't go to these websites because they're wrong for you as a person, and you should avoid them. But I'll always know what that looks like and how that looks terrible.
Oh, Steven, I don't think I could. So I was one of the people that could not go to those websites. I would get sick to my stomach. I just couldn't do it. I don't want to mess with that. That's just too much for me. So just hearing you describe it, I'm like, nope.
It taints your soul. It does. Yeah. And there's people, there's some things I've been able to avoid in my older life on the internet. I've been able to go, like, you hear the popular video or picture or whatever, and you're like, I don't know what that is, and I'm very happy about it, and I never need to.
See, you really are the wrong generation. I mean, you're straight up, you are the 1950s.
Yeah. I think so. I think I was born about 2 decades later than I should have been.
Yeah.
But no, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Very true. All right, Ashley's back. Y'all have fun tonight. See y'all.
Okay, bye. Okay, we got that saved. You're right. I might tag that onto the end of the show. We'll figure out what to do with it.
Jello.
Okay, hold on. I gotta bring us back to life here.
Feed the baby.
Feed the baby. Yeah. Feed the baby. Is that how the Backstreet Boys song goes? Okay. All right, now we're back. Now we're back and rolling and moving. What's your favorite Backstreet Boys song? It's okay if you say none of them. Trick question.
I was trying to think of Backstreet's Back. Wait, wasn't that like their first song?
Yeah, that one ticked me off because it Backstreet's Back, but Backstreet never went anywhere because this song was on their debut album. Unless that was their encore song where they like left the stage and then came back and then they were like, "We're back. Check this out." Yeah. This is the best part about a show. You go to a show and you watch the band play and they wander off stage. They're like, "That's the last song. See you, everybody. Have a great night." And everybody's like, "One more song." They're going to come back out and play their hits. Like, they're going to do 3 more songs. Why do they do that? Is it so the band can get a drink? Is it so the audience just gets re-hyped? Because they're like, they've been hearing 15 songs in a row and they're like...
It was very K-pop.
What was K-pop?
Sorry. No. Wow. You were talking and my brain... Because I was thinking Backstreet's Back, but that just feels very K-pop. But you had said a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I did. But that's okay. I'm used to being ignored around here.
It wasn't ignored. It was you said something. And my brain's like, ooh. And you're like, I'm still talking. And I'm like, but you had this thought, the shine effect.
Yeah, but that's what was going on. You asked me a question you didn't let me answer. Factoid. Someone who weighs 150 pounds on Earth would, if it were possible to stand on Jupiter, weigh a whopping 354 pounds on the enormous gas giant. Larger masses have greater gravity. I have more gravity now than I did in March.
You do?
Yeah, I'm larger. I'm a larger mass than I was in March. Thank you, DoorDash, for sponsoring my extra 20 pounds.
I get that.
I like that you asked me like that was serious.
Okay, it's working.
I told you a thing and you go, you have more gravity? I'm confused. So I know you didn't hear most of it. Just keep drinking. How much vodka do you have in that bottle anyway?
Why is it green?
I don't know. You can put vodka in anything. Vodka's for alcohol, water's for volume.
Ooh. After my 25th birthday, I have not done vodka.
You have a specific... That's good. That's a specific memory that keeps you from...
Halloween 2008 solidified the lack of vodka.
You still only have one safe beverage, Amarula and rum, right? Those are still okay?
Yeah, those are okay. I have not gotten so shit-faced that I wanted to die off of those yet.
Rum scares me a little bit because like it because of the rum balls like give you diarrhea almost instantly.
Oh,
I'm
pretty sure that's the Cairo syrup.
Oh, it's not the rum?
I don't think it's the rum.
We should find out. We should do a test. I'll chug a Cairo syrup and you chug rum, and then we'll see which one of us gets diarrhea.
I don't even. Gross. The viscousness.
We had a Cairo syrup bottle fall in our pantry once and explode all over the floor. We didn't know about it until like a day later. And it was just the stickiest, gummiest, nasty bit. It's impossible to clean that up, like effectively. It's real bad.
What is Cairo syrup?
I honestly don't know. I think it's ground up people.
Why
to a mash.
Corn? It's just corn syrup?
Yeah, it's all.
Okay, so there's like You get how addicted to sweets are we as a people that we milk corn and rice for sweetness and we make syrups out of them?
It's cheaper. We're not addicted to sugar. We're addicted to money.
Oh.
We make more money
There's
by
like
using
anything
corn
that you
syrup.
can. Oh, my ear itches. You ever have your ear itch?
You can get corn. I mean, they can get sugar from regular sugar sources, but it's way cheaper to use corn to do it. It's like,
It's so bad for the environment. I remember when they started making corn gasoline. I'm like, oh, that's so good. We're going away from fossil fuels. And then I did some research. I'm like, this is so shit for the environment. Why?
nothing we've
And it's bad for your car.
Nothing we've done to progress has been good for the environment. We are the parasite. I'm swearing Independence Day, those aliens that come back are just like us from a previous timeline.
We're like, oh, look, the Earth got better because the Green New Deal passed.
I thought you said.
Oh, you guys were on Staring at Goats. You guys were talking about like the plane trips to nowhere, and HG was just like, "That's so bad for the environment."
Yeah, he was like, let's just waste fossil fuel and burn.
Yeah, Steve was like, you could just go, I don't know, tour the plane. That could get money too. You would have to waste the gasoline.
If you missed that conversation, check out Staring at Goats. Subscribe today. But you could get on the plane and they could just put a plane on like a conveyor belt with like the paper in the background. So you look out the window and you feel like you're flying because you're watching this paper roll of scenery pass you by. They do it, man. You go to Universal Studios and they have that train that goes between the two parks, the Hogwarts train. What's it called? You can't say Hogwarts anymore, but what's the train?
Why can't you say Hogwarts anymore?
Because J.K. Rowling's in trouble for saying horrible things. So people, you have to be you can't. Anyway,
oh,
she's just yeah. But we don't have to talk about that. We can talk about buses.
Wait, what's a turf?
I can't remember what the acronym is, but like it was a legit thing. Like she's said some pretty terrible. But this is a lighthearted show about lighthearted things that we should talk about. Buses. Let's do some world news.
Steven's like, shut up!
Like, stop asking questions. You can cover this later. We'll do something else. Bus passenger uses live snake as a face mask. I want to believe.
Wait. You said bus pass and then live snake face mask. What?
I said bus passenger uses a live snake as a face mask. And I want to believe like the snake's mouth goes like over their mouth and then like they breathe through the snake. like they're making out with it and they're breathing like it's a giant tube like an elephant. I don't think that's what they did. But that's what it sounds like it could be to me.
That was Australia. Of course, it was a nope rope wrapped around his head. La la la.
Transportation officials in the UK, not Australia, have warned commuters not to use live snakes as face coverings after a bus passenger was spotted with a large reptile wrapped around his head. I'd like to point out, just to put out there, Branston, we know this was you. Pull it together, man. Don't do stuff like this. I'm kidding. Branston's a fan of the show, and I wanted to shout him out because he was posting really delicious food from the UK in our Discord today, and now all I want is a scone with jelly on it. And even though that might just be kind of like an American biscuit, I want what he put a picture of.
What if my cousins by marriage like makes and sells scones now? I'm just like, package me one up, ho.
Yeah, send a scone. We require scones. He sent me a recipe, so we can totally do it. Oh, by the way, this story is submitted by Ace. Thank you, Ace, for the story. Faux show. The man raised eyebrows during his bus journey to Manchester, England on Monday when he was seen with the animal draped around his neck and mouth. A traveler who witnessed the incident told the Manchester Evening News that she initially believed the snake was a really funky mask until it started slithering around the handrails. Oh. Wearing a face covering on all public transportation is mandatory in the UK, except for those who are exempt for reasons of age, health, or disability. Like, what age? I guess age would be if you were too young to wear a mask, like a baby.
Yeah, like a bibble.
Everyone otherwise should pretty much be able to wear one, unless you've got like emphysema and you've already got an oxygen mask on. Photos of the incident published online show that the unidentified man was not wearing a mask under the large brown serpent. A Greater Manchester spokesperson said passengers are expected to follow government guidance on wearing face coverings in public transportation during the coronavirus pandemic, unless they are exempt. While there's a small degree of interpretation that can be applied to this, we do not believe it extends to the use of snake skin, especially when still attached to the snake. I feel like this person might have parcel tongue. Not to bring back more Harry Potter references, but I think they might have parcel tongue. And they're like,
I don't
save me, snake.
I'm so done with people not wearing masks. Like, just please. Like, okay, I understand that having the government mandate something is creepy and icky and it feels wrong. And I understand standing up for that. I also understand that this kills people. Like, lots and lots of people are dying. More people are dying in the United States than anywhere else. And it's because we're being so foo-foo about wearing a mask. Please just wear a mask. Like, I'm not even mad anymore. Like, I'll kill you, but just wear a fucking mask.
just do the thing.
Like, I won't even get the enjoyment out of it that I was so looking forward to when I set you on fire.
I'll just be sad that I'm having to do it.
I will be exasperated that you're causing more work for me.
Like such a needless death, you that I'm burning since you didn't wear a mask. It didn't have to be this way.
You brought this upon yourself. You're not wearing a mask. You're asking for it. You look like you want to be set on fire.
Oh, snap. She said it. She said it. You might have been thinking it, but she said it. Ace is gonna stone cold stutter you. It's been so long since I thought of the stone cold stutter. Austin 316.
Is that who that is? Was that the bald dude?
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I remember that.
Did he like act at some point?
That's an interesting word you use. Act. What movie was he in?
Burger King commercials or something?
I think he was in The Expendables, and he just stared. He was just bald and imposing.
I'm sorry, The Expendables they're just such stupid good movies. Like, I just enjoy the crap out of those.
Well, it's just like
they're so bad.
Pay everyone money, have them come spend an hour on set, and then say we have Harrison Ford and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the same movie, and they're like, "Yay, we do!" And you're like
Chuck
excited.
Norris delivered a Chuck Norris joke. I'm just like, ah!
It's so like that movie Expendables 2 was like they shot it on like Sylvester Stallone's Handycam from 1990. The ISO on that was so high. They had a scene like they're all sitting around a fire, and it just looks speckly. Everything's so ridiculously speckly. I don't know who their cinematographer was.
What did you magic from your hand just then?
Speckles. What do you mean? What am I magicking?
Did something fall from your hand? Was that just me? Am I seeing things?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fall?
I didn't drop anything. I think you're hallucinating. Drink more butt coffee. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer, I don't know if he really fit the bill for a Expendables movie. He's kind of a trash human anyway, so maybe he shouldn't be in things.
Is he
That'd
really?
be fine.
What did he do?
I think he cheats on everyone he's ever been with. His wife was on Real Housewives, and he was a human turd on that show. Not to say that everyone else on Housewives wasn't also human turds. It is reality TV. It's a human turd. I don't know that I'm getting across the message that I want to get across. Because a human turd would be a turd from a human. But what I mean is that they're like an anthropomorphic turd with a face.
Wait, Bono.
Wait, what? Bono's not a turd. Bono's great.
No, it's that episode of South Park where the guys were so upset that they can't create life. So they go take giant shits in the toilet, and that's like they're having a baby. And so one of them were so big it actually came to life and ended up being Bono.
That's great. I mean, but
it's a funny episode.
Yes, it's funny if you were there. Cool story, bro.
Yes.
It's your story this
South
time.
Park is funny. I don't
It
know
is.
why.
It can be. I respect South Park because they pull no punches on everyone, and that to me is the way to go. Like if you're gonna pick on somebody, pick on everybody, and then no one can be like they attacked me all the time. Like when Isaac Hayes dropped from the show because they made fun of Scientology, and they're like, dude, we've made fun of everything. You're not off limits, and then they killed Chef on the show because of that.
I remember that. I didn't know any of the. I was like, did they just kill Chef? And then like I had to go read about all the drama behind it, and I'm like,
yeah, you're like that's kind of what you deserve.
Completely like you could be insulted if someone insults your religion. Like it's fine. Yeah, like you should be surprised, but you're be insulted. Whatever.
You can walk away. You can be like, man, I can't handle it. But you should also have been like, hey, we're making fun of a lot of people's things that are near and dear to their soul. Maybe I shouldn't participate in this activity. You can do that. But I mean, that's not the point. The point is the show's to upset you.
Never seen South Park. I feel like him and Sub are like high-fiving in Fields of Glitter right now.
I've only seen like the Warcraft episode and one or two. I've seen one or two other episodes in the Warcraft episode. I saw the documentary 1 week to air where they showed they basically put out the show on Wednesday night and Thursday morning they're making the show for the following week. That's how it stayed so up to the minute on all of its references. Is that was literally up to the minute. It was get the show done, rush it to Comedy Central. No one had time to review it. It hits the air. Done.
And then they get taken off sometimes. Yay.
Yeah, they pulled one or two, I think, in the history of the thing.
The Book of Mormon one was so funny because the entire time they're explaining the beliefs of the Book of Mormon, they're humming in the background, but they're going dum 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 dum. I'm like, but literally, like I cannot think of a creation myth that isn't stupid.
That's
or
fair.
Unbelievable. Like none of them. Like if you cold cocked Christianity to someone, so this guy loves you a lot and he existed before you existed and he like barfed the universe into existence in 7 days and then like he made the sacrificial system, but then he had to sacrifice his son because of the sacrificial system. And now they love you and like blood and stuff, and just be nice to your neighbor and wear a freaking mask.
It's like how you brought your message back around to masks. It's, and that's a good point. It's really important to recognize how insane you can sound despite knowing or feeling deep within your soul that what you're doing is correct. How insane you sound to other people, I think, helps you find common ground in places where you otherwise might not. Like, look, I know this is crazy. Here's where I'm at. It's like, okay, well, good. As long as we all understand that it sounds bonkers, and that's okay. I think
real
that's
bad. Like all of them sound bad. Like I've never had somebody talk to me about their religion, and I'm like, that's insane. I remember when I was little, I was so defensive of like what I believed, right? Because you are. But then like one of my neighbors, she was from India, and she had like a shrine in her house on the third story where like we had the washer dryer and they had like this alcove and there's just pictures of like all these Hindu gods and yada yada yada. And there's a picture of Jesus, and I'm like, I reckon it was that white dude who probably wasn't white, but I didn't know that when I was little. But what is the rest of this shit? They're like, oh, those are gods and I think she called them divas and I forget, whatever. But they were like things that they worshipped, right? And I'm like, but this dude's the only real one. The chick with the 4 hands isn't real. The guy that died and came back to life and was like a burning bush, that's real.
It all sounds so practical when all smashed together. Like, your stuff is fake. Kids are so funny.
Yeah.
It's good. Always ask questions. It's important. It's an important part of your life. Ask questions, consider, think about things, and read the small town news story.
Oh shit, sorry. I'm telling you, dude, there's not a lot going on up the stairs. Chicago's Dreadhead Cowboy. Was ist das?
I don't know. I've heard of this. Yeah, it sounds like a Mortal Kombat character. I'm gonna play as Dreadhead, but it's like a dude.
I need to hear the music now.
What? Oh, I could probably get it going, but
dude, you do it. Chicago's Dreadhead Cowboy, who I don't know what it is, rides horse on Dan Ryan Expressway, faces 3 charges from ISP. What the fuck's an ISP? Internet service provider. I don't know what this means. Chicago's Dreadhead Cowboy, slow traffic and drop jaws, and probably some draws because cowboys are hot, by riding his horse down the Dan Ryan Expressway. Illinois State Police. Reading Illinois and saying Illinois makes my brain explode. State police say they received multiple calls about a man riding a horse on I-95 southbound just before 4:30. The rider appeared to be Adams Hollingsworth. Adams Hollingsworth? The 2 last names?
Yes, it's a pluralized first name.
Yeah, also known as the Dreadhead Cowboy. He posted a live video of him riding on Facebook saying, "We focus on kids' lives matter. This gon' keep happening." Oh my God, is it your dad?
No.
What does that message mean? We focus on kids' lives matter. This gon' keep happening.
That is what he said. Yeah, that's what he wrote. Y'all don't want to miss this, I promise. Okay, here, let me translate. Let me get it rolling here. We focus on kids' lives matter. This gon' keep happening. This gon' keep happening.
I like it's gonna, because I've talked to your dad enough, but I don't know like what's gonna keep happening. That he rides the horse down the freeway with his 2 last names?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you expect him to protest. This is how it works. Kids' lives matter until kids' lives matter. Until we understand kids' lives matter, nothing else matter. This guy's great.
Is there a kids' lives matter movement going on?
Look, I don't know. Are the children okay? I don't know. Everybody's not okay. I mean, some people are more okay than other people. Good Lord. Don't make me walk on my face on the show. Because I know what I mean, but other people don't.
Does anybody in the chat understand what's going? Head Gamer went to school with a man named Smith Jones. That's 2 last names. There are no first names in your last names.
I knew a kid named Brick Stone.
Oh my gosh, Vin Diesel. I was thinking about names like that are, I'm like, okay, like the VIN number of a car and like Diesel fuels a car. And I'm like, that can't be his real name. Like his name is not the VIN plate of a car and then Diesel that fuels a vehicle. And then he ended up in the Fast and the Furious. Like there's just no way.
I think his name is Vincent. Let's find out, shall we?
Me in the butt. Really? That would make so much sense.
Let's see. Vin Diesel. Oh, no, it's not. Vin Diesel was born Mark Sinclair.
Oh,
along with his fraternal twin brother, Paul Vincent. So he
has fraternal. Who cares?
He just picked a stage name that sounded awesome because he's bald and got muscles.
Okay, so his mother did not name him after vehicles.
How do you pick a stage name that sounds like that awesome but not
what
so weird?
What would you pick your stage name be?
Dude, I don't know. I no, I've got nothing. I don't know what my stage name would be. I feel like you need one, but you can't just come up with that on the fly.
I feel like Steven Adams, though. I feel like that's a perfectly fine actor name.
To me, I hear it all the time, so it doesn't sound special at all. But then there's guys like, I mean, Tom Cruise. That's a cool name, but is it a cool name because he's Tom Cruise?
It's just because you know it, yeah.
Is his name even Tom Cruise? It's probably not. His name is like Tom Sullivan or something.
I know a lot of people have changed their last names, like if they're super like long, hard to pronounce. Is that not his real name?
No.
Stage name for like if you were gonna be an actor. Thomas Cruise Mathapor the Fourth. Is that really his name?
Yeah, Thomas Cruise Mapother the Fourth.
What a freaking cool name!
That's not cool. That's opposite
That's
of cool.
awesome. That's like, okay, I feel like that's a lot more posh than Tom Cruise.
He's
Tommy Lee
also
Jones.
old. Tommy Lee Jones is a good name. Nice name. Dead gamer.
That's your porn name.
Not repeating that. What? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would just be Steven Adams because I don't know what else to call myself.
I mean,
Ask me after I've had a cup of butt coffee.
Steve Adams, starring Steve Adams.
Oh, J.K. Simmons. I learned recently. You know J.K. Simmons of a Spider-Man fame.
Yes,
and other things.
yeah.
Played the
dude. Hi, Ivan.
J.J. Jameson. His name is J.K. Simmons because the Actors Guild already had like a James K. Simmons and a James Kevin Simmons. I can't remember his middle name. James Kevin Simmons and stuff. So the only thing left that he could use that was unique was J.K. Simmons. Every other version of his name was already taken by another actor. There's like J. Kevin Simmons. Like every name he could do. So he just ended up going by J.K.
So, like, your name has to be registered?
Well, if you're in the act, you don't want to get confused with another actor when you're trying to like rock out your career. You don't want people going on IMDb and looking for Doug Jones and finding 75 Doug Joneses.
Authors do that too, right? They end up going by weird names. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna test this book out with the fun name.
Jonathan Kimball Simmons is his name. And there's already like a J. Kimball Simmons. There's a J. Jonathan Simmons. There's a Jonathan K. Simmons. So he had to go with the last one.
Huh.
Yeah, and you could be somebody like Harry Truman who just makes up a middle initial for fun. Because Harry Truman doesn't have a middle name. It's Harry S. Truman. The S was just pretend.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Look how much you learn on this show.
That's my porn name.
Yeah, friggin' Michael J. Fox was born Michael Andrew Fox. He's Michael A. Fox. What the crap?
Where'd the J come from?
He made it up because he thought it sounded better.
Such a crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I remember, like, she had all those like magazines with JTT's face everywhere.
Everybody had a crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I like Jonathan Brandis.
I didn't have a crush on anybody except Jessica Rabbit.
No, you liked the Labyrinth chick.
Oh yeah, I still like her. What's her name again?
Yeah,
Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
It's the dark hair and blue eyes that does it.
Yeah. I remember in high school, me and my guy friends used to sit around and talk about like what the best looking combination of a human being would be, like for either gender. And most people always settled on like green eyes and dark hair. Like it didn't matter skin tone, but just like green eyes and dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
For like either sex.
I've got a thing for dark hair girls, which is good because my wife is a dark-haired girl, and I like her a lot. She showed up
with her Princess Leia buns today, and she's like, well, I did it once because I got sick of doing my hair. And she's like, Steven really liked it, so now these are Steven's buns.
She has my buns. I really love when she puts her hair in the two buns. She did that one day. I was like, what did you do? She's like, I put my hair in two buns. It's like, two buns is so cute. Do two buns all the time. And she's like, it won't be special. I was like, don't care. Do buns all the time. All the two buns.
She does look adorable with two buns.
Yeah, she's a winner with two buns. Speaking of buns, news better left untold. Florida woman steals sex toy, gets nude in store, and tries it out.
Wait, what? What? No, gross.
That's so nasty.
What did she try out? Everything?
The hoss.
Just Florida, man. Florida's like the STD of America.
You know things. Which one's the biggest one? What do they call that?
Oh, the big black one that's like the size of several horses. I was gonna get it, send it to your dad.
Like if you wanted to just prep everything for having a baby, they have those that are massive. Big old massive.
That's such a good idea.
Unnatural. What? Using a thing to dilate yourself?
Just to stretch it out for like the month of the baby would just slide right out.
You're like, well, I can't feel anything anymore, so I guess that's okay.
Oh my God.
I should do a Kegel.
Jacob, I need. He's looking at me. He's looking at me from the couch. Jacob, I need the eviscerator.
Zafo. Like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
HG baby's like, can you close the door? There's a draft.
36-year-old.
Look, if you guys ever had to squeeze a baby out your vagina, you'd be stretching that shit out too. You'd be like, oh, but you'd have to like get it up in your cervix. Ow. It'd have to be like it'd have to be the size of like a human hair and somehow go, whoop, but like not painfully. I guess that's what they do in hospitals when they dilate you. But if you could do it like more slowly. My plan is on fire now. My plan's not working.
Yeah, to dilate, they put that balloon up there and they fill it with air or something. That's a terrible thing.
It hurts enough dilating by its onesie.
Yeah, by itself.
Dilated doesn't sound terribly fun.
So Stephanie had to do that because she was being induced. Because there was complications with Sam's positioning and condition or whatever. So she had to be induced, and they had to do that thing. And the doctor's like, her bedside manner, great doctor, terrible bedside manner. She's like, we're going to put this balloon up there, and she's like filling it up or whatever. And she goes, hey, if it pops, we have another one. And Stephanie's like, pops? What if it pops? Like, you have a balloon in my body, and you're just like casually talking about if it pops, no big deal. We got another one out here. We'll do it again. Like, what
you
the
guys
crap?
got the fact that we don't have like that those centering classes that I took aren't like how everybody learns about delivery and labor and everything is aggravating.
Yeah, you should take a class at least to know what's up.
Aggravating, because what, Jacob? How many classes were there? Like, because we took one a month and then we were 2 a month.
You guys were there all the time.
I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah, we should have done something like that. That would have been a little bit better. We also should have got a doula for having been induced, and probably earlier than it should have been. That would have been real helpful, because family's great, but trained professionals are better, right? Trained professionals know what's going on, and they're like, let me support you. People should just flip and get a doula. Do it. It's important. And then you don't have to have.
Unless you're in COVID and then you paid for your doula and then you can't use it.
Yeah, then don't have one of those. You're just so helpful. 36-year-old Florida woman Teresa Stanley was arrested after she stole a sex toy from a store, got naked, then put the toy inside of her while inside the store. Fort Pierce police received a call that Stanley had taken a pink sex toy from a shelf, removed it from its packaging, then took her pants off and began using it. If you're still hanging on, we got more coming. Police say that by the time they arrived... That's not what I was going for, but you grabbed it anyway. The Florida woman was completely nude and moved to the stockroom to continue using the item. As officers entered the stockroom, Stanley dropped the toy and was arrested. Records showed the value of the stolen item was $45.98. The Florida woman was arrested on charges of indecent exposure and larceny. What's larceny? Theft? Is that theft? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. So, what news outlet is this from?
TMZ. I don't know. Rob Show. What's Rob Show?
Are they not allowed to say dildo?
Maybe not.
It's like, okay, so you're talking about someone getting themselves off, which is pretty risque depending. And you're too afraid to say anything other than pink sex toy.
It doesn't look like they're the kind of outlet that can't say those words. Because it looks like just somebody's random blog. But yeah.
Florida man swallows 4 bags of heroin, escapes from ambulance en route to hospital. Florida man steals cat blood from clinic. What?
You know, this Florida woman, she looks like she's lived a tough life. That's a rough 36.
Oh,
You
damn.
know?
Oh, damn.
She's got that's not an easy 36. That's a I've had some problems.
I mean, depending on how you catch me, I could look that bad.
I don't think you could. I think you'd have to try pretty hard to look that bad.
Hold on, wait. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, you see if you can mugshot yourself. Now you just look like the lead singer of some metal band. You look like the fill-in for Metallica.
It's because my hair's still wet from the shower.
just pick up a bass and you'll belong anywhere. Like, you got it. By the way,
I have a tan, Kelly. I was in the sun a lot this summer.
think the color temperature on your light makes you look brighter than you are. But it's a fun story. Speaking of picking up a bass, my buddy Patrick, who has agreed to come on an episode of Staring at Ghosts in the near future. He's a PhD in sociology, so that'll be a really fun conversation.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forget that Patrick's got a freaking PhD.
Pretty smart.
Here I am with my 2-year AS, whatever. It's
You're
fine.
a genius. Shut up.
It's fine. The college doesn't think so. But yeah, so anyway, Patrick and I have been music buddies for our entire lives. We since we were 13, we played music together. We were in a band together. I played guitar, he played bass. It's great. Funny thing about that whole thing is when we were 13, we both got into music. We weren't really talking much at the time. He got a bass and I got a guitar on literally the same day without having ever talked to each other, without ever discussing music to any degree with each other. And then we're like, I called him because it'd been a while since we talked. Like, Patrick, I got a bass. And he's like, or I got a guitar. He's like, I got a bass. I was like, what, really? And we ended up forming a band. He messages me today on the Facebook. He's like, look what I got today. And it was
on the Facebook.
It was a beautiful orange Fender Jaguar bass. And I haven't told him that I was interested in buying a guitar. We haven't talked about me picking up a guitar at all. And in the last week, I got this baby. And I was like,
I was gonna say, that's so cool.
I was like, Patrick, you're not gonna believe this, but I picked this up literally last Thursday. That's the weirdest. Yeah, 'cause
you were dead excited.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. Look at this thing. Look at it.
What did you name her?
Abigail.
Are you serious?
Shut up. Yes. You're adorable.
Steven. That's adorable.
Yeah. Your face is adorable.
Steve's like, don't compliment my guitar naming, douche.
I'm gonna call it Abigail and see if it sticks. But I like it. But yeah, freaking blew my mind. It's like, Patrick, what in the world is going on? Why do we buy music stuff at the same time, 20 years apart? 30.
Your
how long?
musical souls are linked.
They must be. They have to be, because it's been an awful long time since I bought a guitar.
TV Travis, that's awesome. Enjoy your guest spot.
Ooh, where are you guesting? Where are you guesting? Travis?
Did he leave already?
He's
Someone find out where Travis is going.
Someone follow him. Oh, he's on the Rooster Bat show. We'll tell Rooster Bat show we said hi. Because I follow him on Twitter, but I haven't listened to his show yet. But what we can talk about, since you're gone, now we can at least talk about the cocaine. You know, it's important. WTF.
I clicked on the link and it told me that unless I have a time machine, the content is unavailable.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
The news story?
No, of the Rooster Bats.
Oh, it's probably he must have got the wrong channel name.
You guys figured out I'll read a story.
I love that Headgamer says this music, the segue music that we've used on this podcast since the day we started it is just from the earliest possible GarageBand loop library. So anytime I hear it, there's a show called Joystick and Mouse that I've been listening to a few times this week. They use it for their news section. Our world news music is their news music. And I'm like, We're all the same. I was telling Head Gamer yesterday, like, or was it you guys where I couldn't go on that show the other night because Stephanie had a thing. It was a conflict, and she was like, "I'm so sorry you couldn't do the show." I'm like, we're all pretend famous. It's not like I'm gonna go on this other podcast. It's gonna be my big break, and it's gonna change my life. It's like, no, we all are just we're barely scraping the surface of fame as it is. We just, like, at this point, all of you guys are friends, so I don't even think about this as like this extraneous people. You're all just family that joins us and watches.
This is the only like hour in the evening where this is my bath time for the week. Like, not that I don't take a bath, it's just like this is my relaxing thing. Like, Jacob goes and smokes on Fridays, I do this.
I'm glad that, hey, I would think that this was like work, but I appreciate that you're into it enough that it's your relaxing
you and
time.
I like you people.
Yeah,
Kelly,
it's extrovert time.
I clicked on the thing.
It's extrovert time.
Clicked it. Oh, I was gonna read a thing. Cocaine in exchange for milking cows. WTF? Oh, Bible podcast go. A dairy farmer has been given a 10-month jail sentence after using his farm as a location for drug dealing, with one customer offering to milk cows in exchange for cocaine.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. The farmer was found with 3 bags of cocaine and like 210 pounds, which is like what, $400?
Yeah. Want me to do that calculation?
$375.
Hold on. How many pounds is it?
210.
210. Hold on. I'm going to do that calculation in my head real quick. Just give me a minute. It's
Okay.
$267.
How much?
$267. Wow.
Oh my God.
Has the US dollar gone up that much or has the pound gone down? What different? Because we used to be double what a pound was.
We were double. What is it now? 267?
267, yeah.
Ouch.
What does that mean? That the pound went down or the US went up? Pound went way down is what Kelly's saying. Pound down. Pound down. You know it. Get that pound down to Pound Town. Am I right? Oh, Brexit did it. Oh, sorry. Because can they use the euro anymore if they're Brexited? Are they Brexiting? Brexit's like the never-ending story.
Do it now, because I thought Boris Yeltsin was like
Boris Johnson, who we've both decided is the person to fear the most, because looking stupid but being really smart is a dangerous thing to be. Mr. Brexit to Mr. U-turn.
Puts you off guard how goofy he seems, but the guy is a clever sociopath.
It's a plan. His look and his demeanor is all part of a very well orchestrated branding strategy. Underestimate me. It's the old like Roosevelt, speak softly, carry a big stick. This is just like, assume I'm dumb so I can take you.
Fluff your hair and be a sociopathic jackass.
Yeah. Oh, Kelly says they never use the euro anyway. Branson could fill us in on all this, but he's not here because he's asleep because he's in the UK. But he's now our official UK correspondent.
Is Branson apple butter?
Yes. Branson doesn't know that he's our official UK correspondent yet, but when he listens to this show, he'll know.
From now on, Branson has become apple butter in my head. Sorry, Branson. You are now apple butter.
Your name is now apple butter. Trust me, that'll stick forever.
Makes me so happy. Yay! The farmer was found with 3 bags of cocaine and like $5 US and cash at coin broch, kura, and river stock.
River stick.
Is that Welsh? Is that Welsh?
I don't know.
Kuisbrach.
Now you're just making sounds.
Messages were found on an iPhone which suggested he was supplying drugs. The farmer admitted that he had been using cocaine, saying that he had been doing so for 9 months to a year, and on weekends he would often do between 2 to 6 lines a night. I don't know if that's a lot. Like, how big is your line?
Back when I was doing cocaine, 3 to 9, really. I've never done drugs like of any kind.
Are lines like an actual measurement? Like, is there like a an amount you use to create the line and then like a length of line?
That's a good question. We need a hard drugs correspondent as well. Does anyone have hard drug experience that can fill us in? I'll call Landon. He's the only thing I know that has done a drug. So
how do you find the drugs? I would like the drugs, please.
Is there a place where we can find some cocaine? Maybe not the cocaine, but just someone who can tell us how it's done, so we know.
How do you do a lot? Yeah, I am curious. Like, if a line is like a unit of measurement, like you scoop out an appropriate amount.
Sub says he thinks a line is an ounce, but Sub has never really left his house outside of the land of Azeroth, so I'm not really sure how he knows, other than maybe talking to other Azeroth.
Of cocaine? Like, isn't that a lot? Wouldn't that be a lot?
A line is a unit of measure? How much is a line? I'm gonna type that into my Google. How much is a line of cocaine? This will be great. I hope I'm not on VPN right now.
Sub went to DragCon for 3 seconds, and then the goat dog summoned him away.
Cocaine prices.
Hey, Sub, how is your H&H group? Your D&D group going?
How much does it cost for a line of cocaine is on answers.com. Let's see. The cost of let's get this answer. It's the top answer on answers.com. I love Google.
Okay.
The cost of the line will depend on the weight. Lines can vary in size greatly, so these numbers are just estimates. There is some fluctuation in the density of coke because it's usually packed tightly into bricks for transport, then broken up to varying degrees by the user, so the volume is not always a good indicator of weight. Chopping it up finer results in lighter lines because it often appears fluffy, so there's less weight for constant volume lines. If it's pure, it may cost $75 a gram. I'm glad we all know this now.
Damn.
$75 a gram. It's a lot less expensive than it used to be, I think. Because the Taliban's gone or something.
I don't know what. I have a friend that's from Saudi Arabia, and his dad had a poppy farm. And I'm like, every time I think about him, he's like, they're really pretty flowers.
Yeah, really pretty flowers.
What's your dad do with the poppy farm? Poppy flowers.
What do those really poppy flowers go to? Well, guess what?
Where has poppies cheaply?
That's where the opium comes from, right? That's what an opiate is. This is a poppy. Welcome to educating you on drugs from 2 idiots on Twitch who don't really know anything about drugs.
People who've never done them. They have.
I know the Taliban's not gone, but there for a minute the Taliban was suppressed to the point where the heroin game was running gangbusters. What's that movie we watched with the Brad Pitt where he was the general guy? That was legit. War Dogs or War Games or
where he runs like this?
Yes, where he runs like that. That's the thing you should take away from that movie. Brad Pitt was General Guy. General McMahon.
General Switch Pants.
It was a good movie. War Machine.
There we go. That was actually kind of cool.
It was a good movie. Brad Pitt's a good actor. I don't care. Thank goodness he's past this heartthrob stage and he can just do his job. Even though he's still a heartthrob. I mean, come on.
Was it McChrystals? I feel like HG knows all of this.
He does. He plays very close to the game here.
I've got a friend who started doing shrooms after I left WVU, and he's always like, you should try these with me. I'm like, I don't think you understand. It's a mess up there, and if I do any sort of anything that would cause it to be, it's just no. Like, I could possibly come out the other side as a serial killer and painting pretty pictures with your blood, like, or I could fall asleep.
I had a buddy who drugs. I had a buddy who, anytime he wanted to drop acid, which he would do from time to time, he would have to clean his entire house. Like, he cleaned everything. He's like, if there's a mess, I could have like a random pile of clothes talking to me, and who knows what would happen. It's like, so everything had to be immaculate. I'm like, I've never dropped acid, but thank you for the clue. Also, speaking of serial killer, we watched Alice in Wonderland tonight with Sam, the 1951 Disney classic. Stephanie informed me that painting the roses red where the cards are running around painting the roses red. She's like, I can't watch this scene anymore. I was like, what do you mean you can't watch this scene? She's like, the red is the blood of the people she's beheaded. And I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Is that true? And I'm watching it with my mouth open now because they're all singing like painting the roses red so the queen doesn't know, blah, 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 you know? And I'm like, are they painting the roses red with people's blood so the queen doesn't think she needs to behead more people? Like, is that what this is going on? It's like, this is the most metal Disney movie I've ever seen. It's like, what is going on? This is nuts. Yeah, I think everyone involved with any iteration of Alice in Wonderland was high as a kite because that movie.
I hate Alice. That is like my least favorite. I just hate it so much. I can't see any Alice in Wonderland character without just going, I hate this. I hate this. I have the heebie-jeebies. I hate it. It's like an LSD acid trip of just no.
It's chaos. It's constant mayhem and chaos. I don't know that I understood any word. Sam loved it. He thought it was great. But I'm like, I loved it as a kid, but now I'm watching it going, this is just cacophony. This is cacophony. Nonsense cacophony. And I'm just like, what in the world? But then I'd hear some of it and I'd be like, that's kind of clever.
What a good metal band name.
Yeah. I thought, I'm like, that's really clever, that thing they just said. Like, what I can't repeat any of it because it's all just so bonkers. But Sam thought it was really fun. But his brain can keep up because he's a small child. I couldn't.
Yeah, there's like it's the ADHD. He's like, look at all the pretty shapes and sizes that don't have my attention for more than 3 seconds because this is perfect for me.
It was just constant flow of nonsense, which is the point. Yes. That was the whole point. Is her world was meant to make no sense whatsoever. The longest scene is the tea party, and then everything before that is just absolute. You're rolling down a hill.
I don't like that, and I don't like the Wizard of Oz. Like they're unpleasant feelings and they're unpleasant colors. The Wizard of Oz is very brown and Alice in Wonderland is stupid UNC blue and orange and I hate it.
Have you ever watched The Return to Oz though? Like that trippy one where Dorothy's in a mental institution and they want to give her shock therapy? You should watch that one. You should watch that where the Jack Pumpkinhead. Did you watch
Donnie
Darko? Yes. Donnie Darko was weird too. God rest your soul, Patrick Swayze. Even though I think you were terrible in that movie. Yeah, he had pancreatic cancer. He was like, I have pancreatic cancer, and he was gone in like a month.
Oh, that's depressing. Oh, so whatever. So my dad had stage 4 prostate cancer. Like that's what's been
like
wrong with
3 days ago. Yeah,
we've been sad, but we found out yesterday that he's in remission.
Yes, we did.
So yay, that's a happy thing because we were kind of crushed and gutted. But yeah, lots of thoughts and prayers for my dad because the medicine, the shitty treatment that put him in remission, whatever, it did a number on like his balance and his muscle tone and
everything else, cognition. Yeah. It's a rough. We need a better way to. 200 years from now, we're going to look back at this and go, "What the crap were we thinking?" But the only real way to handle.
Yeah, we're killing ourselves to avoid dying.
That's actually really true. We kill ourselves to avoid death. We're way more concerned with longevity than quality at this point. But no, that's really great news. So he comes off the meds that have potentially been causing a lot of this. Some of his old manisms. He's old, but he went old real quick, real fast.
Yeah, it kicked him in the nuts, so to speak.
Yeah, so now we're going to see. We've
been teasing him, like, about being a girl.
We're like,
how do you have these mood swings? Because, they suck him on hormone therapy, so it basically chemically castrated him.
Yeah,
and he's just like, do my boobs look bigger to you? And I'm like, tee-hee-hee, there's daddy.
He's so clever. But yeah, Kelly's right. Eventually we'll program viruses to take care of cancer. Like the Duke study, I might mention, where they used polio virus to kill brain tumors. Check that out on CBS 60 Minutes. The Duke
that's
Cancer.
Cool.
Yeah, the Duke Cancer Institute was featured in there, and I used to work there, which was cool.
I was going to say, were you there at that time?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was there because we had to. They were doing the 60-minute special. They told us they were doing it and they were we had to prepare the website to be able to handle an increased load, because the last time they did a CBS special, the website went down because so many people were they were getting curious. So I had to figure out how to put a bunch of caching stuff in the way so that the site wouldn't go down. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And it stayed up. Yay, Steven wins. I was the only engineer there that had any clue how to do it. And it worked. Not tooting my own horn.
I would have been like, all of this is riding on me. I have no one to blame this on. Shit nuggets.
That's kind of how I felt until it succeeded.
14 times already?
I don't remember. You said an F-bomb once. Those count for 2. F-bombs count for 2.
Yeah, so that was 4. Where'd the other 10 come from?
Your mouth.
Suck a butt.
Did we finish the story about, or did we just go down a road of Alice in Wonderland and drug?
It's done. It's milkcowsforcocaine.com.
Okay, cool. Please purchase that. By the way, we're building up quite the repertoire of phrases to throw on T-shirts. We've got Okie Dokie Funeral Home, which I drew a mock-up of that I've got to commission. We've got to commission one of my favorite artists ever to create some form of that to go on a black T-shirt, because I feel like it's a black T-shirt kind of thing, like Okie Dokie Funeral Home. And then the hype must flow was in the chat earlier, and that was pretty great. I don't know what to draw for that, but that was pretty awesome. Also, I would like to give a very special shout out to our newest patron, Christina of Geekheim. So, as Adam said yesterday, Geekheim's now operating in the red because both of them are contributing to our Patreon. But they both get big shout outs. So, Christina, thank you for joining us in the Patreon and passing us some cash for us to continue doing what we're doing, because that's pretty great.
That's sweet.
You join the ranks of Adam and Hammer Dwarf and Og and Oddly Normal One and our parents in supporting this show and making it great, and making us continue. I mean, we want to be here anyway, but paying us $1 makes us feel pretty good. Makes us feel.
I
like
will
what we're doing
never
is
not
valuable.
be able to hear someone say, "Pay me $1," and hear that like chubby white little girl go, "$1 makes me holla."
What is that even from? I don't know that I even know that reference.
It was one of those like slightly exploiting your children by putting them in makeup and expensive
Honey
dresses.
Boo Boo?
Yes! Dear Jesus, yes.
Yeah, don't do that to your kids. I mean, sure, you can make a lot of money, but don't do that to your kids.
Like, I'm torn on that, because like I feel like some of the girls that do the more like the older stuff, they have a higher self-confidence from entering the stuff because they have to learn to speak well and carry themselves a certain way and answer questions on the spot, yada yada yada. But I'm also like, there's an entry and an exit that you have to get in and get out to reap the benefit, or else you're just effing weird.
You can overdo that a lot. And I mean, I think, like you said, there's a lot to it when you're first learning how to be a person. But the scary thing is you have to ensure that the kids aren't interpreting whether they win or lose as their value as a human being. Like, you're big on this. You're a big advocate for there's more to a woman than how good she looks, and teaching the teenagers that's don't worry about your Instagram filters. Just be cool.
Yeah. Well, it starts out when you're tiny, because little girl, oh, she's so beautiful.
She's precious.
Look at her eyelashes, look at her hair. Oh, the boys are just, you're gonna have to beat them off with a stick. And I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad.
You have to spin it like you're smart. Like, I've even heard people, when we were talking about how to compliment a kid, saying that they're smart is actually not that helpful. It's better to point out like what they're good at. Like, oh, you're so good at working out those patterns, or like that you got a real knack for X, because smart's such a generic term and we use it to gauge ourselves against everyone and everything. That you find it impossible to recognize the talent that you do have. And then you just end up like me, self-deprecating all the time. I'm not that good at this
Imposter syndrome, right? Like, you did well and you're like, well, that was a fluke.
Yeah, they're definitely going to find out I'm making this up as I go. Well, little do you know that everyone's making it up as they go. No one has a flipping clue what they're talking about.
That's why you like encourage encourage people when they're younger, like, you tried so hard at that. You did such a good job. You were, you were so driven. That was great.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be the participation trophy thing, but like you can encourage failure. Like,
Oh
that was
man.
great. You tried. Do it again. Do it till you get what you want.
Yeah, it's the whole failure part's huge. Like Sam does that. Like I'm trying to work with him. It must be genetic. But he's like, he'll do something. I'll be like, well that ain't right. But we'll get it. Let's try this again. And he'll be like, I'm just terrible. I'm like,
Did you?
where did you get this from? Me.
It's the HG. Will can back me up on this. It's the freaking ADHD. Um the fear of rejection and failure for like an ADHD brain is nuts. And then like add to that, kids with ADHD are way high percentage less likely to have close friends. By the time they're 13, like they're 70% less likely to have a friend, a close friend than everyone around them. And when they're younger, they're way less likely to get picked to put on teams and to have people that want to hang out with them or be at the birthday parties or yada yada yada, because like we're nuts and we're hard to relate to and we just say shit and you can't keep our attention and like you can't have conversations, right? And like kids pick up on that, so you get ostracized and then you're just like, you start distancing yourself from, you're like, well, screw this. If I'm gonna get hurt, nobody wants to be my friend, then I'm gonna withdraw. Like I'm gonna go do something like that a loner would do. And so it just like it just builds on itself. Anyway, I'm done.
And you start wearing dog collars and hating everybody.
Yes! I'm like, fuck everybody. If you don't like me and you don't want to be my friend, like, I'm not going to open up to you. Like, I will tell you the weirdest shit, but I will not let you know me. Like, you will know still like the sexual position I had last night, but you're not going to get to know me.
Sorry. I like you a lot, though. You're pretty great in my mind, even before I was married to your sister.
That was fun. See, we were talking about Spotlight the other day. Just, I wish I need someone to film this scene in my head where it's dark and still and we're surrounded by woods and this maniac comes galloping out of the open space, dives over my head, does a barrel roll and goes, "I think anybody saw me?"
That was the intro.
And then he married my sister.
That was cool, dude. No, so I love you too. I fully understand where you're coming. I always had two friends in every class. I had at least two till 5th grade, and then I was a little too weird for everybody, and I didn't have any friends in 5th grade. But I had at least, and I didn't have friends in 6th grade either. Come to think of it, but 7th grade, I met Lando and Patrick, and that they were super duper weird too. So I think we all worked out to be friends, and I stayed because we went to that private school. It was the same class every year, so I didn't really have to meet new friends. It was way easier just to have the same two for 6 years. But I
mean, I had Mark when I turned 13. Like that was the first and only like confident I had ever had my entire life. And then we had a falling out my senior year. So like I had no one. Like that's why my sister and I are so close, because I literally had no one. Because I mean, I remember this bitch walked up to me at the mall after like we were out of high school and she just laughed. She's like, "Ashley, you're so weird." I'm like, "Don't kill her. Don't kill her."
Like, I don't have to like you anymore. I don't have to see you anymore.
Yeah, and I'm like, "You're an ugly asshole, okay? We're stating facts. This is fun."
I think the best thing that I learned, like trying to be pretty cool from like 7th grade to 10th grade, was a disaster. And worrying about whether people liked me or not was also a disaster. So finally in 11th grade, it was like, just lean in, man, to the nerdiness of who you are. And like I bought a Bob the Builder lunchbox from Walmart, and that was my lunchbox. This purple stupid lunchbox. I wore these red shorts and these stupid Hot Topic t-shirts that said dumb things, and it was unlike anything anyone else in the cool crowd was doing. And I'm like, I don't need them. I have my friend Patrick, I have my friend Landon, and I have these other people, and no one didn't like me, which is the thing. Like Steven was always the friendly kid. But like that was when like trying to be cool was a failure. Not caring that's when everything turned around, and it was either I didn't care enough anymore or people responded better to authenticity. Which I think by 11th grade, you're starting to mature a little bit and get out of the stupid stuff. At least a lot of people are. So I think that helped to some degree.
I'd say 1 in 10.
You think maybe?
The rest of the people stay assholes. Guys, I love you. But please don't feel bad for me. I have lots of people I care about and love and confide in now. Just it was rough for a while, man.
We're talking
I
about
don't want
15
other
years
kids
ago.
to have to go through that.
Right. If I can teach Sam anything, it'll just be like, dude, just lean in to whatever it is you do, and it'll eventually pay off. It might not pay off right away, but eventually it will pay off. If not for nothing else, for your own internal sanity. Be like, whatever, man.
That's so hard to tell a kid though, because everything is so vitally important. I should go feed my child.
You're an exposed nerve.
Shut up.
Oh, is your baby hungry? Okay. You can go and I'll wrap the show up. Okay. Y'all follow us on Twitter, Two Dorks TV, Steve H&H, Fate Kills, PHATE Kills. Give us a review on your favorite podcasting service. Patreon.com/Two Dorks is the place to go. If you want to talk to us more often and be a part of our awesome community, you should join it over at twodorks.net/Discord. Get in the pool here, and let's chit chat and drink a beer together. Words of wisdom, these come from Confucius. He says, to practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. Well said, Confucius. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. We'll see you guys next time.